All right, so check out this Clefable set. I have no idea how this is going to work. Probably going to be awful, but we're going to try it anyway. Okay, so check it out. We got Stored Power, and we got Draining Kiss. So there's no Moonblast on this Clefable right off the bat. That's, crazy why you're not running Moonblast. It's the best move in the game, or one of them at least. Yeah, maybe I am crazy. We're running Stored Power because we're trying to get all the boosts, and Draining Kiss because we need health. And I don't want to run Soft Boiled because that'll just be slowing us down. Now I have to run Charge Beam because I want to use Cosmic Power over Calm Mind. Now see, if Clefable were using Calm Mind, then we wouldn't need to worry about boosting our special attack and getting just really fat and not doing anything to a lot of Pokemon like Heatran, for example, and opposing Clefable and Galarian Slowking is another big one, right? You wouldn't have to worry about that. So that would be fine, and then I could run Soft Boiled and Moonblast, and that would be better. But I wanted to get the defense boosts today. I don't really know how much that's going to help even, but I just think I haven't seen the Cosmic Power Clefable, but I think this could be really interesting if it can work. Now, Draining Kiss is weak, and I do need to make sure that I get a couple of boosts, because there is one Pokemon that can bypass all of my defense boosts, and that's Urshifu. Now, at +2, I have a good chance of killing Urshifu, especially after Stealth Rock or any prior chip. So, a lot of the team is dedicated to getting enough chip on Urshifu where I can Draining Kiss it and kill it, maybe after just one boost or something. That's the idea there. The next Pokemon I put on the team was Weavile. Weavile is a Pokemon that forces in Urshifu a lot of times. First of all, if I'm going to force in Urshifu and I'm going to use Knockoff, well, now the Urshifu is not choice banded. Now we're in a lot better position, right? And I can pivot that into Tapu Fini. Eventually, Clefable will come in and start setting up, and it won't be choice banded, so it won't be doing nearly as much damage to the Clefable. I can Drain the Kiss, all back the health, and we should be good from there. So that's that. Next up, we've got Rillaboom. Rillaboom should help giving Clefable passive damage, as well as just being generally good. Now, one move I'm thinking maybe we want to put on Rillaboom is Superpower, or at least Drain Punch. And that's because this team is really Ferrothorn weak. And so I'm considering putting it on there. Depending on how the games go, I might end up putting it on. But I want to see how it goes first, because in theory, Clefable should be able to set up on Ferrothorn. But I'm not sure about that. And you notice this Clefable is not unaware, it's Magic Guard. It's because I didn't have to want to worry about like having to Heal Bell. Once Pokemon see you start to set up, a lot of times they just automatically think unaware. So they might even try to waste a turn or two getting into Pokemon that can click Toxic. And then once they see Magic Guard, then they know they're really screwed. So that's sort of the idea behind running Magic Guard. So I'm hoping that I can beat Ferrothorn 1v1 with Clefable, but I'm not really sure. We'll have to see. Next up, we got Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini is going to be our Choice Scarfer. I originally was going to put Victini on here, but I just felt like Choice Scarf Victini wasn't very strong. It's always one of those Pokemon that's strong when you run into it, but it's not actually a good Pokemon, generally speaking. Not in Gen 8, at least. So we've got just the standard Tapu Fini here with Scald and Moonblast, and then Trick, so that you can get rid of that Choice Scarf if you need to, and Taunt once you've gotten rid of the Choice Scarf. This could be switched out with something else, but there's not really that many moves that Tapu Fini wants to run that's not Moonblast or Scald. Maybe like Hydro Pump would be one move that you could put here, but I don't like clicking Hydro Pump, so we're just going to go with the Scald, Moonblast, Taunt. Alright, Lando up next. You'll notice that we have a very offensive Landorus and a very weird spread here. So we're just running Max Attack Adamant with Superpower. That way we can do massive damage to Ferrothorn, because otherwise the Ferrothorn is going to come in on the Landorus. It's going to take like 30% from Earthquake. You're going to have to try to figure out who do I go into here. It's just going to be a mess if you have to go from there. Like I said before, technically I can go into Clefable, but I don't really know if that's a good option. So I just decided to give Landorus Superpower. And normally Landorus either runs Toxic or Knockoff. I have Tapu Fini with Misty Terrain, so Toxic isn't going to be the most reliable on this team. Of course, Toxic is really useful for Tornadus T, and so I could definitely run that. But that's just sort of how I'm thinking at the moment. And I don't have a lot of speed, so Tornadus should outspeed me, so I should be able to slow pivot into Regieleki on Tornadus if I have to. Now I'm running some HP, because I don't want to run a fully offensive set. But I am running some speed because I figure if I'm going to run max attack adamant, I should be outspeeding Heatran, I should be outspeeding Magnezone, that sort of thing. And then we're just running leftovers to give me some form of longevity. I thought maybe it might be nice to run heavy duty, or not heavy duty boots, protective pads. But I think overall having longevity is better. So there's that. And finally we've got Regieleki. This is the Magnet Regieleki that outspeeds Choice Scarf Kartana and kills it in one shot. So that's our Kartana answer, and is just generally fast. It also gets rid of hazards for us, whereas Landorus sets them up. So that's sort of what we got going on for today. Let's see if we can find a game. I'm hoping that this Clefable will put in work. Right off the bat, we see Ferrothorn, which is a problem. We see Heatran, which is a problem. We see the Galarian Slowking, which is a problem. We see the Buzzwole, which is a setup opportunity. And assuming I have enough boosts, I don't think the Hawlucha should be that big of a deal either. So, an interesting matchup to say the least. Now, as for what my opponent would lead off with, I'm not really sure. I'm going to lead off with Landorus and see what they want to lead off with. Maybe Buzzwole. Okay, that's fine. Now, Tapu Fini is my designated Buzzwole answer. They go for Toxic. Now on this, you would go probably into Galarian Slowking. So I want to make the double into Weavile here. This is a very risky play, because they could always just stay in Drain Punch or something. But I figured they'd do that. So now we get to go for Knockoff here. And that should at least neuter the Ferrothorn, or at least get rid of the Rocky Helmet on the Buzzwole, is what we're thinking there. Okay, we go back into Tapu Fini, always. Cannot throw away the Weavile when it's super strong against my opponent's team. Okay. At this point, I'm going to trick the Ferrothorn. Yep, and they knocked me off, so that's fine. At this point, because the Misty Terrain went down, we can just throw off a Scald here, which I think is fantastic. Now they're Black Sludge, and I don't really want that. So, what are we going to do here? I'm going to go into Landorus, as they're going to trick. So actually now I can deal with that later. Like I can trick it away with Tapu Fini. So that's sort of funny. I'm going to actually go into Clefable right now. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start setting up Cosmic Powers. They Toxic me, so that's a wasted turn right there. And with enough Cosmic Power boosts, I'm hoping I should be able to beat everything. Now, Heatran can come in and taunt me. That would be one thing that can set up a taunt. Does this get Clear Smog? I don't know. Okay, so they're going to have to go for a critical hit, I think, is what they're thinking at this point. And the problem is they can definitely go for a crit and get one. I'm going to have to start Charge Beaming at this point, because I need to be able to kill this Slowking, since I don't have any recovery options. So it needs to die. ASAP is the problem. +3 defense, +3 SPDF, that's more than enough. Okay, so now Stored Power looks like it's a 3 KO. Unfortunately, they traded away their leftovers already. So that's fine by me. They can't. If they'd had Black Sludge, then they could have at least gotten rid of my recovery. But I am getting this passive recovery, and I am +3. So this is quite good. Now, they go Rillaboom. I'm going to go for Draining Kiss. Hopefully, they don't U-turn into Ferrothorn, is what I'm thinking here. Draining Kiss again. Actually, I'm going to Charge Beam. The Charge Beam here. Okay, I got another Spatak Raise. It's a 70% chance to get a Spatak Raise. So we're looking pretty good on that front. And so now unless they crit me, my Draining Kiss should be healing me considerably. And so this Clefable is really putting in work game 1. I was able to identify that the Buzzwole was a free setup opportunity, and because my opponent didn't capitalize on the few turns they had to prevent this Clefable from doing anything, they really were just screwed. Alright, at this point, let's just do some quick calcs. I want to see Clefable at +2 versus Hawlucha. Because if my Draining Kiss doesn't kill, then I want to go for Stored Power, I think, is better. Although Draining Kiss kills now, I think. So I don't know why they set up a substitute there. That was a really weird play. Because all they're doing is giving me recovery. And they're not going to stall out all my Draining Kisses. And at this point, I don't need Draining Kiss for anything. I can Stored Power the Buzzwole, and Heatran's 4-time resisting. Ferrothorn, I'd rather Charge Beam or Stored Power it. So alright. Very cheesy strategy, but my opponent, game 1, got cheesed. So yeah, in fact, that was a really quick game, all things considered, because they didn't get a single crit. Now, later on in this video, I'm assuming I will get crit at some point, and that will be sad. Alright. The Zoroark Trick. The Scizor is, of course, a big problem. And the Toxapex has Haze. So Clefable is, of course, really nice for the Regidrago. But that's about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lead off with the Regieleki. And I'm going to Volt Switch. Okay. So that is indeed a Garchomp. Good to know, good to know. And I'm going to go into Clefable. Zapdos comes out. I'm going to actually go for the Cosmic Power here, as that is the Zoroark. Good to know. Okay. So now that we know that's the Zoroark, I can go into Regieleki, and they're almost certainly going to go back into their only ground type. So I'm going to go Weavile here, as they decided not to do so. I'm a little bit surprised at that. And I don't know if that was Choice Scarf damage, but whatever. Okay. U-turn. Hard Regieleki, hard Regieleki. There we go. Okay, so it looks like my opponent is just outplaying me at every turn. I'm just going to click X right now. That's one Swift L to knock us down a peg, right? You gotta stay humble. I don't really understand some of my opponent's plays, but they probably were just predicting me. And we're going to, let's see. Block PMs, there we go. All right. Now we've got a bunch of fat. So we've got Slowbro plus Blissey's, their defensive core, plus Lando Tran. The Weavile isn't too bad as a lead, I think. Because if they lead off with Tapu Lele, the abilities will tell us who is faster. And they lead off with Slowbro here. So that will force in... Well, it didn't force in anything, apparently. I'm going to go hard Rillaboom here, as they actually teleport. Maybe they lived with that, I'm not sure. But it means that they cannot go into Shifu. Now, every single time here, you're going to go for the Moonblast. So I'm actually going to click U-turn, as that actually just kills. Okay, whatever. Let's see, what do we want to go for now? I'm going to go into my Regieleki. And then I'm going to double into the Clefable. As they go Landers, good. And I'm going to try to start setting up here. Cosmic Power. I'm going to start setting up Cosmic Powers. Now they did get the attack drop, which is unfortunate. The main thing is that I need to start setting up as much as I can. The Blissey can come out, and the Blissey is going to be a problem. They have Taunt, but I have Charge Beam, and that's what we planned on. We knew Heatran was going to be an issue. Heatran often runs Taunt. but I can just run Charge Beam. And at this point, I'm +2 special attack, so they can't really switch in their Urshifu on me. Is what I'm thinking, at least. And once I get to +6 special attack, the Heatran will be taking quite a bit of damage, I think, from the Charge Beam. The Heatran is leftovers, which most of them are, except for the air balloon ones. So they will be getting some passive recovery back. And I'm only doing 17% at the moment. But I think that we can make this work. I actually haven't, I'm just trying this team out for the first time, so I haven't tried to see if against Heatran this is a 1v1 that you win. They're going to go for the special defense drops and or the crit here, I'm assuming. I got another special attack raise, so I'm going to be starting to do quite a bit. I wonder, let's see, it's only 200 base power with stored power at the moment. Heatran especially defensive, something like that maybe. They go for taunt there again. I don't know why they didn't realize that I'm just going until I get max special attack. Out of curiosity, I want to see what this does. Okay, we're -1 special attack, -1 attack. We're -6, or +6 special. You can read what I'm doing on the screen, and you know what it is. Okay, so Charge Beam does way less. So stored power is definitely the play at this point. Okay, now the problem is that they have Urshifu. And if they realize that they have Urshifu and go into it, then I have to switch out. So, good play on my opponent's part. They do know what their game is here. Okay, I'm gonna go into... I'm just gonna go for Moonblast here, as they should go Blissey. And I'm going to go into my... Landers. Is they probably do they have teleport? This seems like a person that might have teleport. Yeah, they do have teleport. Okay. So now I go back into my Tapu Fini. And now I go into my Weavile. If they get me on the double, then good on them, right? They do get me on the double. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. And once again, I'm going to double here. Or maybe I should double into something more interesting. I'm going to double into Clefable here. I feel like you always go Landorus here, right? Maybe I should go my own Landorus to get the Intimidate off. That would be smarter. But yeah, so they did go into their own Landorus. And now I can go for the U-turn here. So they are faster than me, which is unfort. Go for knockoff there. I'm just going to click rapid spin to get rid of the stealth rock, I suppose. I don't really feel like that matters so much, but it's just something we can do. I'll get up my own stealth rock. And you turn again, I guess. I don't really know. Okay, so go for defog. That's fine. Now we'll trick. Cool. And now I'm going to click Earthquake. They can stay in all they want. Landorus versus Slowbro. I mean, really what they should do is they should just... Well, that is a roll that I'm not going to get. So I'm just going to U-turn here. I might have gotten that roll with that much damage. Okay, now I'm going to click Draining Kiss here. A little slow, bro. But I'll just click X here. No point playing that out. Yeah. That game was basically over at that point. Alright, now my opponent has a very offensive team. It's going to be pretty difficult to get any boosts up against this team. The Coco may not be able to effectively touch me. Or they may have taunt, I'm not sure. And the Victini could always be an issue. The Ferrothorn actually might be what I want to set up on. Funnily enough. Or the Landorus. I'm actually going to lead off with Clefable. I'm just going to go for Cosmic Power here. As they go for Thunder Wave. That's a bit annoying. not gonna lie. But once I get a couple of boosts up, it doesn't really matter my speed stat. If anything, that just means Gyro Ball from Ferrothorn would do less if they had it. And now they might be Final Gambit Victini, but if they're Final Gambit Victini, then that's something I want to get rid of anyway. Okay, so they can Encore me. This is a 32 PP move, and if anything, Victini, one thing I know about it is that they don't have any good PP moves, so you can see that I'm eating up all their Bolt Strikes, and I have 32 PP. So I think the Victini user thinks this is an exchange they're going to win, but unless they play it really well, I don't think it is. Because they'll have 4 more Bolt Strikes, 8 V-Creates, and after that what? I don't know. They Calm Mind, and they start Charge Beaming up, if I can. Okay. I'm going to start clicking Stored Power here. Yeah, I'll put him on the back foot. If I can break through, that is. Unfortunately, that didn't help us. So we get hacks there, unfortunately, because of all the paralysis. If I'd gotten the attacks off, they would have been dead, and it would have been over. So now we've got to go for Grassy Glide. Too much of a threat not to. Now we go Tapu Fini, so they can't Dragon Dance up and sweep us. As they go for Roost, that's fine. I will Trick here. As they go Clefable, they are now Choice Scarfed. And I will taunt them. As they go for Thunderwave in terrain, which I don't know what that's about. I will now go into the Landorus, as they should go Ferrothorn, yep. And I'm just going to click Superpower here. As they go for Spike. And now I'm going to go for the U-turn. Because they're not going to stay in, they're definitely going to go into something that can beat that. Okay. Back into Tapu Fini. And I will go for the Moonblast. Okay, Trick again, just because I can. I feel like they might be a Roost here. Yeah, they did Roost. Good. Now I have Heavy Duty Boots. So that'll help against this Spike, which I may or may not be able to get rid of later on. And now they have a Sticky Barb to worry about. Okay, at this point, I'm going to click U-turn. I have an item, so I don't worry about that. Now I can go into Regieleki. And I double here into my own Landorus, because I don't really need Landorus at this point. I'm going to click Stealth Rock if I can. I think I might be able to. Cool, as they get up their own Stealth Rock. That's fine by me. Now we get to go Weavile. And I'm going to just SD up. Yeah. And SD, I don't know how much this does actually. How much does this do? Well, doesn't do very much of anything. Now we go for Knockoff because they're obviously going to go Ferrothorn. We might as well get a kill. Okay, Regieleki again. And now I get to go for the Rapid Spin. Yep, as they go into Landorus. I need to keep around Tapu Fini or the Dragonite for sure. So now I'm just going to go... I'm actually going to sack the Regieleki. Because, yeah, they're definitely going to go for Bolt for that. I'm going to U-turn here. They actually stay in for some weird reason. I go for V-Crate again. And now Moonblast is pretty free. Okay, Rillaboom. We've got to keep that around. I'm gonna Wood Hammer here, get a kill. And that prevents them from setting up in theory, but they have the Victini, which kills me. Alright, we need to get another win with the Clefable. The first game, of course, the guy let us set up. What are you gonna do about that? Okay, in the last game, they would have lost Clefable if they hadn't got the paralysis hacks. Alright, this game, they have Nidoking. That's obviously a big issue, but besides that, not really too much worries the Clefable once it's got a couple boosts. So I think I'm going to lead off with Landorus. Because if they lead off with Nidoking, I wonder if you'd stay in to Stealth Rock. Nope, you don't. Which is fine. I think that's totally normal. I wouldn't expect you not to. But Triple Axle, how do you switch into this on your team? You only have one switch in, and that's your own dang Weavile. I could have low kick, but I don't see that happening. So they may just risk the 2-hit. Good, so the Nidoking's gone. I will take that. That's the reason why we let off with Landorus, because we wanted to pressure that. Okay, Tapu Fini's coming out. I think the Tapu Fini is the correct play there, as they Brick Break. So I don't think my opponent really knows so much about what they're doing. I don't know. I'm going to click Moonblast. If they clicked Brick Break, maybe they don't know about Scarf. I'm not really sure. I'm going to actually go Rillaboom here. That will get rid of their terrain, which means Hawlucha can't set up. And I'm not really concerned about Hawlucha setting up, but it is just something to note. Alright, if they decide to U-turn of their own, which they do, they may decide to go into Landorus or into Tornadus. If they go into Tornadus, I think I'm going to go into... I'm going to go back into Weavile. I think that's better. I want to go into Clefable, but Tornadus, I want to see what it has first. I want to see what this Tornadus is all about, because a lot of Tornadus is very taunt and other annoying things. So I don't know exactly what the Tornadus is going to do, and if I can kill it, I'll take it. The Tapu Koko comes out. This outspeeds, of course, and I can go into my... I'm going to go into my Tapu Fini. Because I thought they'd U-turn, yeah. So now they can't U-turn it to Hawlucha, and all they can U-turn is into things that do not want to be in on Tapu Fini. Good. I got that play right. I mean, it was a pretty easy play to make, not gonna lie. But it's still something to consider. So now Scald can come out. It can burn the Landorus because it's in the air. Did not burn the Landorus, but that's okay. And if Tapu Koko comes out again, that's fine by me. I'm just gonna stay in this time, I think. I can get the burn. And if they do that, I can go into Rillaboom now. And put Grassy Glide. If they decide to stay in, they don't get their terrain off for Hawlucha. Right? If they think, oh, he's just going to click U-turn again, I'll U-turn myself. If not, now Weavile's dead, right? I think that's the best play there. Now, if they go Tapu Koko again, which I feel like they will, then I'm going to go into my Regieleki. Because Regieleki only really does one thing at this point, and it's kill Tapu Koko and scare Hawlucha. So Thunderbolt Hawlucha, they have to kill me, which they didn't because they didn't go for close combat. I guess they thought I was going to go into Clefable there. That must be what happened there. They thought I was going to go into Clefable. I can stack the Clefable at this point because it doesn't do anything. Yep. So I'm just going to go for Draining Kiss. Maybe that'll do something. Doesn't really matter. At this point, the Clefable didn't get to come out this game. But I sort of wanted to win this game, not just mess around with the Clefable. So that's what we're going to go with here. And at this point, I just can go Rillaboom. Yeah, and my opponent forfeits. I think I could have also killed with Regieleki, but I had too many pieces at that point. There was no point for my opponent to really do anything. So yeah, this team, sort of a mess all around, I think. It has sort of what the pieces it needs, but at the same time, relying on this Clefable is sort of bad. So if you play without the Clefable, or as if you don't have the Clefable, a lot more reliable. Alright. We got the Magnezone. Magnezone is Flash Cannon, but after a couple of Cosmic Power boosts, hopefully it won't do too much. And the Toxapex is always a major issue. I'm going to lead off with the Tapu Fini, I think. As that actually works out great. And they may U-turn, so I will always click Moonblast here. Because if I can kill the Dragapult, you know, that's one more down. If they don't scout for the Choice Scarf Tapu Fini, that's great. Great. Okay, so if we get up Stealth Rock, then the Dragapult's dead. Because it's almost certainly not Heavy Duty Boots. That's like one of the few Pokemon that don't run that move. Okay. I'll go Regieleki here. And I'm going to start throwing off Thunderbolts. I don't know if that's the correct play. What's the play we're going for here? Okay, yep, there's that kills. That's unfortunate. Now I gotta go Landorus and hope I live with the small amount of HP I've got. I don't think I do. Yeah, I don't, because I'm not Spadef. Tapu Fini time. Quick Scald. Maybe I should have gone to Tapu Fini first, huh? That's probably what I should have done. Okay. So they can take my Tapu Fini. I also don't get rocks in this game, so the Dragapult lives. Now I have to decide. Weavile versus Volcarona. Let's just say it's bulky, I don't know. Weavile. I thought I said Weavile. There we go. Ice Shard does 9. Rillaboom. Grassy Glide does 18. Gotta go Rillaboom. Rillaboom, Grassy Glide, and hope it kills. If it doesn't, we'll just click X. It did. Good. We did get the burn, though. So it's probably a wrap, but we do still have the Clefable, right? So if they go into the Toxapex, then we want to kill that ASAP, I think, is the main thing. We go into Landorus, which is interesting. That's a bit of chip on the Landorus. Doesn't really do much for us. What I really need is for them to go into the Dragapult or something that will be a big problem for the Clefable. That's my hope. Okay. We'll just click X. We're going to set up on that. It was not Specs Magnezone, which in theory I think Clefable could have beat 1v1, but it got a head start, and I don't think I can beat it if it gets a head start. Okay. And it could have always just gone into the Toxapex and hazed, and I don't think Stored Power, because Cosmic Power isn't boosting my Spatak, I don't think Stored Power would have done very much, and then they would just haze, and then I would have lost all my progress. Alright, once again I'm going to lead off with Tapu Fini, and I will actually trick the Melmetal, because the Melmetal is a huge threat to the Clefable. Okay, as they go for that, I'm going to go into the Landorus now. And I mean, good on my opponent. I have no Melmetal answers, really, on my team. I go for Stealth Rock here. They should go Zapdos or their own Landorus. That works too. And we've taken away 2 of their stored powers. So that's cool. I'm going to go back into Tapu Fini just because. And now we're going to click Scald. I don't know if I'm going to outspeed. I almost certainly will. And if I can get a burn, that'd be fantastic. No burn. What do you know? Alright. I'm going to go Weavile. One of the things we said before, remember, is that we don't want the Urshifu to beat us. And so if I can knock off the Urshifu, then that's one of the pieces down that needs to go. And at this point, I'm going to sack the Regieleki. Alright, that's not a prediction or anything like that. That's just me sacking the Regieleki, because I don't feel like I need it when they've got a Landorus. Of course, the Landorus is sort of low, so they might want to go into it now. Hey, Thunderbolt. Tons damage to the Melmetal. That is fantastic. I will take that every day. Alright, and they did double Iron Bash here, so we've got to work with that. An Earthquake here. They're probably going to sack this, seeing as how it got paralyzed. So Melmetal is gone. Melmetal is gone. Urshifu's weakened. I will go into the Rillaboom now. They may think that I'm going to stay in, given my previous play. Although maybe they'll U-turn again. Yeah, they do U-turn again. That's fine. If they go Zapdos. And Zapdos is actually, I think, what I want to set up on. So I'm going to click the Charge Beam first. I'm not sure what they're going to go into. Go into Landorus. Interesting. Cosmic Power time. Cosmic Power time. And now Draining Kiss. Just because I can get some health back that way. The Cosmic Power up again. Draining Kiss. Draining Kiss. Very slow move to kill, isn't it? Okay. So the big problem is, of course, they realize Urshifu comes out and kills. So I'm actually going to have to sack this, unfortunately. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Weavile comes out and gets triple axle kills. Right? That's the idea? No, actually, no, Weavile didn't come out and get triple axle kills. I was supposed to go Rillaboom first. What are you doing, Ralts? I messed the end game up there. I messed it up. That's my bad. I should have gone Rillaboom. I just got one step ahead of myself. I don't know if you guys have ever done that, but I certainly did just that right there. Okay. Urshifu. Urshifu comes out and messes me up. We've seen this. The Umbreon is going to be annoying. The Umbreon is going to be annoying. I'm going to have to deal with that somehow. Kartana has Sacred Sword, which goes past defense boosts, but Smart Strike does not. So I'm hoping that will work. And we can probably set up on the Ferrothorn, is what I'm hoping. One thing I noticed is they have no electric immunity. So we're going to lead off with Regieleki. I'm going to Volt Switch right now into the Clefable, and hopefully they'll let me set up. They may want to try to get hazards up. And if the Clefable comes out, passive Pokemon, not really going to do too much. They have Umbreon, which is Spadef, and they have this Ferrothorn, which isn't going to be too threatened by it, I don't think. I don't really know. The one thing I'm confused about with my opponent's team is why they have this Pokemon, or why they had this Pokemon, I suppose I should say. Why do you have Pelipper on your team? What's it doing on your team? Is it for special... is it for Hurricane? That what we're going for? I mean, it definitely helps Urshifu. That I will give you. Okay, maybe it was just offensive Pelipper. Well, the Clefable almost killed it in one. I don't really have anything to threaten this, so I'm just going to stay in. They made U-turn. They did. And they still killed. I'm max defense bold. I was hoping that would live, but it did not, unfortunately. Alright, I'm going to go into Landorus here. And I'm going to set up a Stealth Rock. Set up a Stealth Rock because they almost certainly go Zapdos. And I don't really feel like dying to that. Okay, I'm going to go Tapu Fini. I say go for Weather Ball. Tapu Fini only is good for the Urshifu. It is definitely good for the Urshifu. But, yeah. Okay. So now they are choice locked into Thunder. Choice Scarf Zapdos is definitely scary. But I'll take it. Okay. So now if you go for the U-turn here, then that'll be sad for me. So I'm going to go for Superpower, predicting them to see this. Oh, no, they went into Zapdos. No, that's fine. Now they can go for Hurricane. So I'm going to go into Regieleki. I should go for Roost. Very interesting, very interesting. Volt Switch always here. Back into Ferrothorn. Now they know I have Superpower, so they cannot stay in. We always do turn here. Hopefully we get it off. And if we do get it off, and they do switch into Zapdos again, then we get them stuck in the Vortex. We Volt Switch here. In theory, they could stay in, I suppose. But, we're a speedy boy. Let's see. Zapdos. Offensive Rain Sweeper. Oh, let's see what they did first here. Yeah, okay, so they did switch here always. That's good. That's what we expect. I'm going to go back into Landorus. And this time we use Superpower, because I feel like they'll stay in. They don't want to be stuck in the Vortex forever. And now if they go Kartana and try to set up, or try to sweep, that's fine, I think. At this point, I'm going to sack Rillaboom. I think that's the play, to sack Rillaboom, because they have Zapdos. And I don't really feel like this is going to win. But at this point, I can go Regieleki again. Because they sort of have to go Zapdos. And I can just start throwing off Thunderbolts. To go into the Pokemon they probably should have been gone into before, which is Umbreon. And now we get to go into Tapu Fini. I used to go for Wish. And now I go for Moonblast, and they can't really do anything about that. So they protect. And now I'm going to taunt. Because if they decide to stay in and try to get another Wish passed off, that's good. If they decide to go Zapdos, well, that's a little less good. But it is something. They don't really want to go into a lot of stuff. I don't know. Okay. I'm going to sack Landorus here. Because I don't really need it. And since they're taunted with Choice Scarf and everything, I can just go into the Regieleki here. I'm going to Volt Switch here. Into my Rillaboom. Get a bit of health back. They also can't go Urshifu if I go Rillaboom. They're forced to go into Kartana. Kartana, I'm going to sack the Weavile. I think is the play there. You know, I maybe didn't want to go into Rillaboom, but I'm not really sure what the correct play was. Kartana can always come out on everything except for Regieleki. Here, if I can convince them that they want to stay in, that'd be great. Right, if they're not aware of the speed tiers or something. Okay, we Volt Switch every single time. We're getting our leftovers, or not our leftovers, our grassy terrain recovery. Of course, the Umbreon is too, but if the Umbreon is fat, well, like, why do I care? In fact, actually, I'm going to Rapid Spin here first. And with the Wish, now Volt Switch doesn't kill Kartana, but I don't think you're going to go into that. I'm going to go into Tapu Fini. I don't need my item, and they should just foul play there anyway. Good. So now I'm going to go double into Regieleki. They may protect to scout to see what I want to do. I'm not locked in, so protecting doesn't really get you anything. And if they wish, well, that's okay. Okay, they're just going to burn another wish, and they only have 14 more of those. Of course, 14 is a lot, because I don't really have too much to stall them out, right? It's just all passive recovery with Rillaboom and whatever, but it still is something. But if they go into Kartana here, then that's good. If they do that, though, then that's really bad. They Volt Switch into Tapu Fini, as they wish. And here we need to go for the Moonblast play. Yeah, do that. Okay, now I'm going to taunt you here. I think they may switch out this turn, but they also might be lulled into a false sense of security. This turn I'm going to Scald. They actually are staying in, okay. That's fine. Trick then? You want to play that game? Then I will get leftovers and you will not. Taunt again. That's an okay play that they can make. I have to keep this around. Unfortunately. I have to keep Rillaboom around for rather. So we go Regieleki here. I Volt Switch always. Always Volt Switch. And if I had Drain Punch on the Rillaboom, then this would be fantastic. Unfortunately, we do not. They may be calcing this, and if they don't know a Magnet, then that would be cool. Alright. Calc here, Umbreon. Physically defensive just cause. Well, actually, maybe I'll just do OU Showdown usage. Versus Rillaboom, Woodhammer does OHKO it. And the Kartana. Against that one, sure. Does do quite a lot. And I'll just Woodhammer here. If they want to sack this, then that's probably the best play, I think. I think that was like the winning play for my opponent. Because they should always sack this. Kartana lives if they want to switch in, technically. But that would have been a major choke on their part to go into that. So yeah. So we kill the Kartana, but then they get to go into Urshifu. Alright, let's get another one. We're getting another one until Clefable can do its thing. Alright, Trick Room. Trick Room is a major problem. I don't really have anything for Trick Room. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to... Man, I hate Trick Room so much. Okay, I'm going to click U-turn here as they go into Cresselia. As they go for Ice Beam there, actually. Now, almost certainly you go for Trick Room this turn, right? I'm going to go into Tapu Fini here. Now I'm going to Trick. And something's getting tricked, right? I can trick away the Thick Club on Marowak. That's not coming in. I can trick away whatever Melmetal's got. And if I do that, then that's great for me, I think. I'm going to go Landorus here. They might Ice Punch. That'd be great if they do. Good play on their part. But Landorus is only really good for Marowak, which is already stupidly broken in this mode. And if they go for that, then, you know, what are you going to do? Alright, I'm going to go back into Tapu Fini. And then back into Landorus. And that will waste the Trick Room, and I shouldn't, in theory, die. Yep. Now I'm going to U-turn here. I just actually stayed in. Crazy. And yeah, I'm going to just go for Volt Switch. We're going to Porygon 2. Cool beans, cool beans. Now I'm going to go into Landorus, and I'm going to Superpower. You know, Landorus doesn't usually run Superpower, so it's possible that my opponent will just die. Or it's also possible that they won't die, and they'll actually kill me instead. So, what do you know? They only have half the Double Iron Bashes left, but at this point I cannot stall them out anymore like I could before. I'm going to actually go into Clefable hard here. Start Cosmic Powering up. As they'll definitely go into their... Oh, they don't actually. What? Okay, we go for Draining Kiss here. And we go for Draining Kiss again. And they get a crit. Well, that's just fantastic. Okay. I don't know if that crit mattered. Let's calc. Let's calc if the crit mattered. Oh, your Swords Dance, +2. This is Adamant or whatever it is. Clefable, +1 defense. That did... there was a 25% chance to OHKO. So I guess technically it didn't matter, but only by the most technical of technical terms. I'm just going to Moonblast the Hatterene, as they actually don't even bother going for Trick Room. It is really surprising. I think that was a bit of a misplay on my opponent's part. However, on the other hand, it sort of worked out for him, didn't it? Go Rillaboom here, as they go for Healing Wish. And they're just going to Healing Wish back their Porygon 2, maybe. Or later they'll wish it back. I hate Trick Room, you guys know that. I still don't know how to beat Trick Room. One of these days I'll figure it out. Okay. Here we go, Tapu Fini as a lead. And I'm going to trick first. That's fine. And now I'm going to go into Clefable. And I'm going to start clicking Charge Beam. I may be taunted, but I can still Charge Beam up. And if I start getting some attack boosts, then that could be a problem for you, right? As they Shell Smash. Oh, dang. Well, guess what, boys? We got a major problem on our hands. Orlando time. Earthquake. I mean, obvious was obvious. They're going to Shell Smash copycat that. So we have to go into this. We get the defense, or the attack rate, or we don't get the attack drop because of inner focus. Fortunately, they missed their Meteor Mash. That was a huge bailout there. Alright. What do you go for here? Calm Mind. Okay. But I don't really know what that got you, because I can just go an Ice Shard here. So the team is pretty gimmicky. Knock off you. Now I have to knock off again, I think. I'm going to knock off again because they may have Roost. Or they may do that. Whatever, man. Whatever, man. I don't understand my opponent there. Okay. So that guy... I guess I do understand my opponent there. There are some days you just want to go and click buttons, right? And that was a click buttons team. That's a really fun team if you just want to click buttons. There's also a really stupid team. I don't think it really does a good job of clicking buttons. Alright. 381 versus 383. Weavile outspeeds the Ribombee. If they lead off with top of Lele, we can see who's faster by the ability. And I am faster by the ability. How does this match up? Tapu Lele. Let's say it's choice specs. Sure, why not? Against the Weavile. There's only like a 6.3% chance I kill. So we're not going for that. We're not going for that. Tapu Fini time. And now I click Moonblast. Moonblast because I think they might go into Ribombee. As they do. Yep. And now I get to go for Rapid Spin. They cannot Stun Spore me. They can only Moonblast. And I will kill them afterwards if they decide to stay in. And this is Choice Scarfed. Thunderbolt time. That doesn't kill. But they don't kill me back either for some reason. That's the weakness of Choice Scarf, I suppose. Now, if their Landers is Rocky Helmet, then we're going to go out sad. Because we won't get off the Rapid Spin. But they were not, so that's fine. Alright. At this point, I think the prudent play would be going back into Weavile and clicking Triple Axle. And providing we don't get screwed over, we should have a kill on our hands, right? 1 hit, 2 hits is all we need. We'll take it. They went in Rocky Helmet. Let's take a Regieleki. We always go for Landers here. As they go for Explosion, cool enough. That's fine. And, I'm going to go for the Stealth Rock. Because their Blacephalon will die to the Stealth Rock. I think 13% really means 12.5, and they're weak to it, so it's 25%, right? So the Blacephalon actually was leftovers. It's not even Choice Scarf, so I have no clue what they were doing bringing it in on my Regieleki. But now that's dead. So they sort of said, you know, that's a Pyrrhic victory. They got up their Sticky Web, and they died that way. Okay, now they're going to Stun Spore if they want, or they can Moonblast if they want. I'm going to go Rillaboom here. And click Grassy Glide. Grassy Glide will kill the Blacephalon, because it'll come in and die, right? It should kill the Ribombee. It does do a good amount to Gengar, so they cannot switch in on it. And they can't really do anything about Tapu Lele. Okay, so Weavile has heavy-duty boots. Rillaboom has priority. And the Tapu Fini is Choice Scarf, so I don't really see my opponent winning this, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm going to go Tapu Fini to change the terrain. That's the main thing I want out of this. As they go Moonblast, and that's fine. I'm going to go into the Clefable, because it does not do anything else this game. and I'm just going to start clicking Draining Kiss. Alright, doesn't do very much. Main point, though, is that now I think Upper Lily against Rillaboom. Grassy Glide. Oh, Grassy Glide always kills. Derpy derp derp. Grassy Glide, you dead. The Blacephalon comes out. So yeah, that was actually a bad play on my part because I lost a sack in the sack war. But I think I'm still fine because, first of all, I have my Ice Shard plus Grassy Glide. And Gengar dies. It's a 2-shot. So they can't do anything about that. And they actually, the one thing they could have done is gotten the Cursed Body. Although I guess I would have had to switch anyway. I'm just going to stay in Grassy Glide. It is a 2-KO, like I said, but it's not no-KO. So that's fine, and we get a win. So Clefable didn't get to do anything. Let's see if we can get one more game. I still want the Clefable to do something. This is going to be a long video today. Okay, for some reason I feel like I've seen this team 1,000 times on the ladder. This is just the most boring. I brought the top 6 best Pokemon in OU ladder team in the world. Okay, I'm going to lead off with Landorus. They may lead off with Melmetal. As lead off with Weavile, so we will go Tapu Fini. That's fine by me. As they go for Swords Dance, and we go for Moonblast. If they get greedy and stay in, then it's a dead Weavile, right? I don't think they will, though. Actually, let's trick. Let's trick here. There's no way you stay in, right? You have to go into something else. Okay, well, I guess not. So I guess I'll Moonblast now. I got a oh, I see, they were Focus Sash. Well, that didn't really get you anything, did it? And I can just trick something else to Focus Sash later. It'll be a useless item. So it's not like I can't trick again. At some future point, they are locked into Triple Axle. That's not going to do very much at all. So they should go Melmetal here always. There's a Rillaboom. I mean, I guess that works too, I suppose. A bit risky though, 'cause I could have gone for Scald. And you could have gotten burned. At this point, though... I'm gonna play to having Clefable do something, so I'm actually gonna click Scald here. And now we're gonna click Trick. No. Well, that's interesting. I forgot I was Focus Sash. That's right. That's been consumed. Okay, we'll click Scald again. I should have gone for Scald last time is what I should have done, because then they would have taken more Life Orb, and they would have been in range of the... Ice Shard. But as it stands, they're not actually in range of Ice Shard. So, that's a bit unfortunate. That was definitely a misplay on my part. We will go Rillaboom now. And hopefully I win a speed tie, if this is a speed tie. But it is not. But now they have to switch out because I outspeed them. We had to sack something there. And that ended up being the sack. You know what they really ought to do is they should just go Melmetal. What they should do. Alright. You could always stay in with the Rillaboom and just get a safe switch into Melmetal. But yeah, they should always go into Melmetal, really. Their eject button. That's cool. That's cool. Not really sure what the eject button is for. It's a very interesting team on my opponent's part. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna click Knock Off here. They may want to SD up or something, if they're Timid card especially. Right, because I'll probably go Landorus is what they're thinking, right? Leaf Blade is always free though here. Or Sacred Sword. Okay, Regieleki. Thunderbolt just in case they stay in. And I don't really have anything to punish the Landorus anyway. They did stay in, so the Kartana is gone. That's fantastic. I think that's fantastic. But it doesn't really do too much for me. The problem here, you see, is that Melmetal is still full health. Well, it's at 82%, but it's effectively full health. I'm going to go Landers here on you. And I'm going to go for U-turn. Okay. I'll go Regieleki here. And if they go into Melmetal, which I feel like they should always go into Melmetal, then we'll just have to try to get like a crit para. And that's basically the only way I can win at this point, right? And they go Weavile, it's all the same. Get some damage off on me. I have to hope I get the crit para, and I don't. And I go for triple axle, not even knockoff. So, okay. So it looked like every other team you see on the ladder, but it actually wasn't. There were some tricks up its sleeve. Unless that is how the normal ladder teams go, and I just am missing out. Okay. Okay, so Bisharp is a problem. I've got to kill the Bisharp first, and Kartana could be somewhat of an issue if I'm not set up first. But besides that, I think Swampert I can set up on, Tornadus I might be able to set up on, and Victini, it depends if it's Choice Scarf or not. I'm going to lead off with Regieleki. And I'm going to go for Volt Switch every time here. Do a Swampert here. I go into Rillaboom. As I go for Stealth Rock, as I figured they would. I'm going to go for Knockoff. I go Tornadus, as I figured they would. Knockoff also helped if they stayed in with Swampert. Right. I'm going to go into my Clefable here. I go for U-turn. That'll invite in the Bisharp again. With the Bisharp, I can go into my Tapu Fini on. The main thing that I'm thinking on that. Tapu Fini, our dedicated answer to that. And now we start throwing off Moonblasts like there's no tomorrow. Okay. That might... I don't know what that is. That's a problem is what it is. I outspeed it. And I don't know if you even can Sucker Punch, much less if you would. I'm just going to click Wood Hammer here. Yeah, that is a lot of damage. Now you U-turn again. So now I go into Landorus. Because that'll get me in safely without proccing the Defiant boost on Bisharp. And you go Rillaboom. No U-turn here on you. Now we go into Weavile. It's very much a kill for kill kind of game. I'm going to SD up. A bit of a risky play. And you can see it did not work out for me. Should have just triple axled there. Alright, U-turn it is. Gotta set up now. Gotta set up. I'm going to click Charge Beam on this. I don't know how much that does to Bisharp, probably nothing. Okay, sack the Regieleki here. If it even is a sack, just click the Rapid Spin here. But definitely go on Swampert, go Clefable. As I go for the flip turn. And I'm going to go for the Draining Kiss. Yep, just sack that, that's fine. Okay, now I'm going to put Grassy Glide. Because that is a KO on Tornadus from the percentage it's at. And now I'm going to go... Well, I should have gone into Kartana, that's what I meant to do. But I didn't have time to cancel. Okay. So that's a quick 6-0. By my opponent, unfortunately. Okay, this looks like a team I can beat, just because it's got terrain spam. Not particularly a strong team. Got the Bisharp again, which apparently is a big problem. I'm just going to click U-turn here. They actually clicked Sucker Punch, which I think was a weird play. I could have clicked Grass Glide in theory there. I'm going to go into my... Tapu Fini. I'll go Tapu Fini and click Moonblast. Good. So the Bisharp's gone. That's the number one main thing we needed there. Now I'm going to go into my Weavile. They could go for Meteor Beam here. But they don't. They're not. Maybe Meteor Beam? I don't know. But knock off. It doesn't kill. They were Heat Wave. Interesting, interesting. Now I'm going to go for Triple Axle just because I can. Just in case they decide to go Tapu Koko, you know? 1, 2, 3. And now they go Tapu Koko. I do have heavy duty boots, so I should switch out, I think, always here. And I'm going to go into Rillaboom. As they U-turn, they will not get their terrain, as they'll probably go into Hawlucha anyway, just because it has the type matchup. They don't actually. I wonder what this thing's speed is like. I'm actually going to click the Wood Hammer here, because if I can get that gone, I will feel better about life. Yep. Especially because Regieleki will get the train boost against these guys, and may be good, may not be good. I don't even know. At this point, I think this is the only time I'm going to get to Cosmic Power Up. Right? If my opponent's going to let me set up, it's going to be right now. So we're going to Cosmic Power Up. And now we start Charge Beaming, because if they go into Hawlucha, that's good for me. And Charge Beam up. And I'm going to go into Landorus because that's going to be 2KO. And now I go for the U-turn because it is super effective. We go into the Regieleki. We'll see if my opponent makes the same dumb play that the last guy did. They cannot switch out, as opposed to the Raichu, which has the ability to switch out. I don't know why they keep going for acrobatics, man. I don't get it. They can't switch out because they will lose their Burn Boost, whereas the Raichu just gets the speed always. That's fine. At this point, I don't need the Regieleki. I'm actually going to go for Extreme Speed. It'll get off some chip, and probably put it in range of the Ice Shard, which they may be in range of now. I can just go Tapu Fini right now, safely, and click Moonblast. There goes the Landorus. There goes Tapu Koko. I'm going to sack the Clefable here. I don't need it anymore. And I'm going to go Landorus here. Landorus doesn't let anything come in, and we already know they have Surf. They actually sack it there. Interesting play there. Alright. For the sake of the time of the video, I think I'll call it there. Clefable only got to do a little bit in that game, unfortunately. I don't think this is a particularly good Clefable set, but it's still fun, right? How many times do you see Clefable on the ladder? And how many times is it the same old boring trash? Like, I just let me have this. I'm just trying to have some fun on the ladder. We did get the first game, and if we had gone with just the first game, then I could have walked away from this and said, wow, this is such a good set. This isn't that kind of channel. This is unfortunately a semi-serious channel, and so we do have to admit that this Clefable is not particularly good, or at least I'm not particularly good at using it, especially not against Trick Room. But yeah, that'll be it from me, and I will catch you guys next time.